Alrighty, so tonight, as we know, it's Duane's night to release his book and shower us with his poetry. I wasn't sure what to say, but I thought about it, and I'm like, I just admire him so much for being such a pillar of the poetry and art community for so long, and giving a voice, giving a voice to poets and artists, musicians. From all over, he welcomes everyone, and his poetry ranges from serious and dark to nature-based to hilarious to sexy a little bit every now and then. And it's just always a pleasure to hear him and to see his art online, and I'm so happy to introduce Duane Kirby Jensen. I'll be going around with a bag of giving.
Thank you everyone for coming out to hear everyone read tonight, along with myself. The thing with Colorado Boy that David just sung, he hits these notes that just reverberate through my body, so every time I have a chance to listen to that song, I do. It is just tremendous. And David's been with us since, 2013, 14, something like that? 12! Okay, wow. Time flies. Just wait till you think you've been here 12 years. That would put us in, 2036. I might be dead by then. Okay, we're going to kick it off with some poems from my new book, The Narrowest of Narrow. This is entitled Altar, inspired by Garnering by William Morris. Turning the corner, I pause. Stillness envelops me. Tusked skyward, my thoughts enter and pass through this sacred arch. I think of mammoths whose thundering footfalls once reverberated through the earth. I am compelled to lay another bone, antler, or skull within this altar. I search my pack and pockets for bone or antler that I no longer possess, or a handful of grain to nourish them on their journey. I look at each piece of once wild things, feel their spirits, beat my pounding heart. I am both statue and running beast. With empty palms outheld, I offer the altar my time. And this was inspired by my trip to Spain about 5 years ago. Daydreaming in the red rock land of Goya. Red rock crumbles, inching its way downward these stark hills, bending to gravity the way people of this land have bent to the Catholic Church. These hills from a distance appear lifeless. The twisted burnt green olive trees evoke daydreams of men and women tormented beneath Goya's brush. This is a land of ghosts, of submission, of dying, of praying, of storytelling. A land of struggle, of belief, of longing, of defiance, of martyrdom. Each step in these red rock hills is steep. There is no flat surface to relax weary muscles, to uncoil struggling sinew. No respite for lungs hungering for oxygen that is so thick one could choke on it. These thoughts surround and suffocate me. My eyes glide from hilltop to descending hilltop with the ease of a water bug skimming atop a cool lake. I think I see the glimmer of Atlantic waves. It is my imagination connecting logical piece after logical piece to an endless jigsaw puzzle. Atlantic waves offer coolness to my sweat-stained body. Endless waves summon me homeward toward the crisp green of the Pacific Northwest, whose deep, seductive kiss has never left me. A lizard looks into my eyes, wondering what I see. Without grace. Missing a third of my mass with disintegrating ankles and vanishing cartilage, inertia reacts differently now. I hike turtle slow, but without a turtle's grace, as this body relearns how to navigate elevated trails cluttered with roots, rot, and shattered limbs. My eyes betray my ability to calculate, reacting as if my eyes belong to a stranger. My judgment of stone height and depth is a hair off. These small fractions cause me to carom step to step, elevation to elevation, like a skid row drunk whose own habitual movements create an urban ballet. My movements are those of a weakened beast, waiting to be felled by wolves. Beagle. A beagle licks blood from my lacerated leg, while the sweetness of blackberries linger. Compassion, desire for salt, hunger for the taste of iron. His disinterested sister looks on with melancholy eyes that teeter on the edge of weeping. Her brother never meets my gaze. He has no interest in me as a human. He treats me as an object to be exploited and discarded. I embrace the memories of blackberries glistening in the sun. The beetle. Beetle and I share the same path with different trajectories. His angle appears shorter, a jaywalker cutting a fresh route towards the sound of tumbling water. He pauses within my shadow, becomes motionless, indistinguishable from a dozen scattered stones. I count my heartbeats. 9, 11, 17, 23, 35. He continues his journey, having cataloged me as non-threatening. I watch his powerful legs propel his armored body until he is obscured by low-hanging vegetation. My eyes return to the distant ridge. The allure of Glacier Basin compels me towards another lonesome space. This is entitled Stone. I feel the weight of the stone you carry in your heart, how it blocks your desired identity from blooming. If my agile fingers could remove this weight, you would face an awful truth. An unfillable hole would remain. Part of you was birthed dead. Part of you was birthed incomplete. Trust me, I know from personal experience. It would be easier to exist with a missing limb, a visible absence, a culpable truth. The stone must remain so you can continue to exist in the comfort of your own emptiness. And this next poem is not in the book. It's one I finished about 4:20 this afternoon, so it is fresh, exactly. And it is in the style of an extended ethra. It's called Mount Index. This mountain is quiet. Its corpse bleeds red. Looking at the lake, I kneel, lay my hand flat, in slow, oozing red mud. Whisper words honoring this place. Mud stains me with its silent sorrow. Lake Serene is but a basin of tears. Lingering in this pose, I share my heartbeat. My eyes reflect the loneliness of crumbling cliffs, stark reminders of my lost youth, the end that awaits. Francesca Woodman, who lived from April 3rd, 1958 to January 19th, 1981. Francesca's peasant-draped body possesses the stillness of a pale mannequin. Arms outstretched, delicate fingers manipulate invisible strings of a marionette who has departed the frame. She becomes another desolate ghost in an abandoned room full of ghosts, captured through her rotary Yashica lens, a photograph more real than life itself. She stares, she stares, she stares. Standing at the bend in the river. Stillness possesses the river today. Each piece of driftwood has become an island which has forgotten the ability to dream. Birds are the only living things in motion. Their spirited songs fill the expansive sky. They are both curious and confused by the emergence of a floating archipelago. Moles, now in slumber, must have been on methadone. Crazed little landscapers, cartographer's nightmare. 12 dozen erupted, transformed into the Snake Park into a series of mini mountain ranges that glisten darkly. If I could shrink to the size of a mouse, I would explore each soft, pliable mound, eagerly crawl deep inside its earthly womb, navigating an endless system of tunnels. I realized I was wrong as my eyes traced the reshaped curves of the Snohomish River. My imagination is in constant motion, like the river, unencumbered by stillness. And this is a moment in the park, written when we had Ghost Mike at Legion Park. It was 100 degrees and no one showed up, yet it was like 7 degrees under the shade, and this is the poem that came from my isolation and the poets, leaving me alone. Well, I wouldn't have written this if everyone would have shown up. It's called Moment in the Park. The sun dances beyond this clump of shade trees, not in a passive, free-flowing modern dance sort of way. No, it prances and stomps, a passionate flamingo, regal in 100-degree rays, full of brilliant arrogance, masking a deep, lingering sadness. I sit here, refreshed, beneath pine and cedar, oak and chestnut, each full of squirrels, robins, crows, and swallows. We each welcome the cool bay breeze. My eyes follow distant, multicolored parasails, infusing the wind with purpose. I eat chilled crimson cherries as my eyes turn away from the page I'm reading. Two women, mother and daughter, perform Tai Chi. Behind me, bat meets ball, ball meets leather, a grunt. I envision a throw, ball smacks leather, informed me the pitcher again possesses the ball. gnats conjugate in a whiting yet disjointed pattern which never repeats. I think of the spiders at Chernobyl. A child giggles gleefully. I ask myself, was I ever that young, that carefree? Never, maybe, momentarily. I pause, read another poem from Chandel Beers. Her first line, my mother sent me into the world too fragile. Her words bring me pause. I read them again and again. Two robins, their head cocked, mimic statues, eavesdrop into my thoughts. No one has ever called me fragile. I was a raging bull, branded with a well-earned capital R, a Tasmanian devil creating dust storms on a passive day. It took me 35 years to learn to be gentle, but never fragile. Paracells continue to etch patterns into the blue cloudless sky. Ball, bat, mitt continue to repeat. Birds have taken flight. The squirrels, out of sight, rattle high branches. Our time together has ended, yet I remain, as do the cherry stains that marble my lips and fingertips, and now the pages of The Children's War and other poems. And down it goes in the cleaning room here. This is called January 19th, 1981, for Francesca Whitman. Francesca, a living apparition, searches for comfort within the walls of abandoned places, the starkness of peeling white walls gone gray. Unbind her imagination, allowing her thoughts to transform into the tangible as they are being captured on her camera lens. A small 6x6 twin lens reflects Yashica Matte 12 4G that can be cupped like a small bird between her inverted palms. Each photograph, an act of disappearing through distortion of a perceived reality that feels beyond her reach. Choosing to abandon the world on a frigid winter day, she took flight, a wingless bird, one final glance at the New York skyline as she offered herself to the embrace of gravity. Okay, we are running out of time, so I'm going to skip a couple poems. Shattered is a poem that's in this book that I do not think I've read anywhere, so this will be new to everyone. Exactly. Shattered. With eyes unafraid to look into the chasms of my inherited limitations, your hands embraced me. A shattered tea bowl. You willingly spent years carefully mending, making me more than I ever was. Please understand, no amount of gold can heal my invisible fractures. Time has eroded the sharpened edges that once lacerated your hands, which slowly and softly stroke my quills, seeking to calm my feral nature. Please, no tears. I appreciate your willingness to wade into dark waters, to risk drowning. But some things are meant to stay broken, left undisturbed and disassembled, to lay scattered and out of view. Kohlrabi. Each time I come across this word, the most perfect word in any language. This gift from the Japanese, used so beautifully by James Cruz in his poem, Light and Dark. I realize I am the living embodiment of Kohlrabi. I am the container holding my father's darkness, my mother's light. I am the dark moss hanging in the shadows, where diffused sunlight sprinkles promise on a few lucky tendrils that gleam momentarily with the warmth of an exposed heart. I am the product of a singular moment, of a frayed union, an unraveling tree being shredded by bear claws and holed by woodpeckers. An endless waltz of dark and light, of sadness and exaltation contained within me. Your ability to blend into the ochre toned path, becoming a random stone casting slight shadow, almost led to your personal extinction. Without truly recognizing you, I halted my descending foot, casting a momentary eclipse. If I had transformed you into pulp, ants and flies of various sizes would have swarmed and rejoiced. And I would have been devastated. We share a kinship I cannot explain, a bond that I have felt since childhood. You trust in stillness as I edge around you, now nearly motionless. Your breathing creates just the faintest tremor of flesh. And we'll finish with these two poems. This is entitled Snakes. Snakes are swarming out of the underbrush, slithering across the descending portions of the switchbacking Wallace Fall Trail. Each refuses to stay on the designated path. Weighted weather lays foreboding, a tightening noose encircling Mount Index. The sound of falling water, which on my hike upward wrapped me in a blanket of serenity, now murmurs like a crowd awaiting an execution. Growling thunder foretells the approaching rain, but all I hear is my father's snarling voice. You're a snake. You've always been a snake. A weather forecast I have had to live with, even though his lips have been ashed since February 10th, 2009. Thick, weighted raindrops impact the dusty trail, causing a dozen of a mini atomic clouds. The only thing that survives are snakes. And we'll close with blood offerings. I hunger for lonely places on the mountain. These living monuments of solace revitalize me, the way the spring renews wildflowers beneath a blazing sun attacking sleek gray sky. When my body makes its final blood offering by crumbling on a trail, a ridge, or in a gulch, allow my body to lay there, undisturbed by human hands. Allow blowflies, beetles, and maggots to dine, tenderizing my limbs and torso for mammals. Allow crow and hawk to devour my sights. Allow me to nourish the soil for seeds yet to germinate. Allow me to become part of the mud that otters belly slide down, splashing gleefully into a quick moving river. Allow my bones to cast shadows, concealing snail, frog, and salamander. Do not gather my remains. Do not lock them away in dark, cramped caskets, hidden from the sun, rain, and wind. Allow wind to hollow out my bones, transform bone into a musical instrument that accompany the howl of wolves. Allow me to be the silence, surrounded by abundant wildlife, going noisily forward, always forward. Thank you very much.